Hi everyone and welcome back to my playthrough of Carnival Zombie. I'm still in the first night of my playthrough here, but still I have made my very first mistake. It's a relatively small mistake, so I think I can repair it pretty easily, and that was when Captain Terror shot against this, I think, Moloch here, the purple guy. He could not reach this guy because his pump gun basically only has a range of 1, so he would not be able to kill this guy. So I think I will just return it from the pile of corpse, but then we should really be good to go. It's now the 2nd hour of the night, and the first thing to do would be to activate or use any items. Still, we don't have any items, so we can directly skip into step number 2, and this means new infected will enter the board. Again, 3 infected on each of these ring 3 spaces will appear, but I think I will do that now off camera. I will place the very first one and the rest will magically appear on the game board immediately. Down there, we have found ourselves our very first survivor, the blue guy here. The survivor will do fine. He won't be harmed by the infected or whatsoever, at least not during the night. He will find a place to hide. But when we end the night, so basically after the hour of the dawn, we have to make sure that the complete cave is cleaned out of any infected. It's not for the ditch, this really is in respect to the cave where the survivor is hiding. If we are able to kill all the infected on this cave until the end of the night, we then can place the survivor on the card of Dog Pestilence. And Dog Pestilence has basically 2 ways of using these survivors. For once, each survivor on his player board increases his weapon effectivity by 1. So the old guns here would do damage of 2 with 1 survivor and so on. The other way to make use of the survivors is to sacrifice them. So whenever any event or wound would give any character a stress, Dog Pestilence could sacrifice that survivor in order to prevent that stress. But coming back to the order of play, now the infected would move again. It's really recommended to start moving the guys that are closer to the refuge in order to know who has been moved already. So we will move this guy here. The incubi will move into the barricade area. That's already kind of a problem. And now we will move the new arrivals. So again, the incubi moves 2. And that's how these guys have moved. The next thing would be to activate our characters. Again, we would start with Captain Terror. He could use one of his commands, but I think I'm not using them at this point in time, so we will just use his normal shooting action. And so he will take a shot towards this space here to the north. These 3 guys all have only a strength of 1, so they are killed. No, he's using some kind of, let's say, exploding ammunition, so the whole space will be affected. The Goliath has a strength of 2, so he won't be affected by this very first shot. So again, we have to get rid of these fellows first. Again, we have to drop them. Oh, come on, see what happens. So this guy is definitely coming back. And I'm thinking to place them on the north 2 cave. So the character who more or less let this guy escape from the pile of corpse can decide on which of the cave he can put the guys that escaped the evil death here. So we will go here, but the second thing that would happen, Captain Terror will be so shocked by the fact that the guy he just shot is coming back that he would gain immediately 1 level of stress. He's taking an additional level of stress to do an additional action, and he will shoot again, but this time he will shoot in the space where the martyr is waiting. Remember, you cannot hit the boss before all the infected in the same space are gone, but still, as he's using his Remington rifle, he would be able to kill both of these incubi here, so they take 1 point of damage. The martyr also takes 1 point of damage, but that's not enough to really inflict a wound here. So we have to place these guys on the pile of corpses as well. And this time, I really hope they're not coming back. So we made our, let's say, preparations for Lady Columbine, who would be next now. And now this space is free, so Lady Columbine would be allowed to kill or to shoot towards the martyr. So with her normal first shooting action, she will inflict 2 wounds, and this means the martyr takes a wound. Then she takes a stress in order to do a follow-up shooting, basically a second shooting action, again inflicting 2 wounds towards the martyr, meaning that he has now 6 wounds already, 2 more to go, and I'm really thinking of finishing him off with Brick Hell. But first of all, we have to take care of Harlequin, or he has to take his activation. With his free movement, he will move to the east side of the refuge, because there is this incubus waiting for us in the barricade area. And as long as there are infected in the barricade area, you're not allowed to shoot out of this space of the refuge, so in the compared to the ditch. So if any of the 2 caves is any infected, the character in that ditch is not allowed to shoot. Instead, he's now supposed to take the assault action, and this is the amount of damage that the assault action will do. In this case, Harlequin inflicts 1 wound, enough to kill that incubus. And let's hope again we won't drop this guy. No, I think this time we are good. Harlequin then takes also a stress in order to shoot again. And this time he fires 2 rounds towards this space here, killing 2 of these Molochs, because they inflict 2 damages each, and this is really something we have to take care of. And I'm really not that good in stacking these fellas, but for now that was okay, I guess. And then we come to Brick Hell, and Brick Hell will fire 3 rounds towards the martyr here, and 3 rounds equal 1 wound. He will take a follow-up shot, and so his 2 turns, or his 2 actions, inflicted now 3 wounds on the martyr, meaning that's more than enough to kill that bloke. So for once, this guy is returned to his tarot card, and then he can choose a reward. For once, he can designate any player on the board to regain 2 stress. I think that's not what we are going to do. He can also choose 1 character to draw a card from his special item stack. And I think this is really important, and especially Brick Hell got so many cool weapons in this deck. I think Brick Hell will just draw 1 of his item cards. And here we have the M60, and the M60 is pretty cool. She can deal 4 shots doing 1 activation, only 1 damage of course, but still he has a range of 3. So basically he does now 1 shot more with 1 single fire action. This is really awesome. And then we come to Pantaleon. Pantaleon is healed from his paranoia, which is a good thing. His weapon has a range of 3, and he's also an explosive weapon, so I think he will shoot towards this space here. This, Moloch is immediately killed. Yep, got it. And these 2 fellas now both have 1 hit points left, the Goliath. Now he has to immediately take a follow-up shooting in order to kill these guys. If he would not choose to do this follow-up shooting, then these guys would be basically healed, and they would need again the full 2 hit points each. So he takes 1 stress in order to kill these 2 guys as well. And as you can see, it gets pretty crowded on the pile of corpses, but for now we are still good. Now we come to the dog. The dog only has a very simple weapon here, so I think he will just shoot towards this fella here. Yeah, let's do that. So he will kill 1 Moloch. Okay, still good. And then he also takes 1 stress in order to kill that incubus. Then he can heal a character on his space, and yeah, what the heck. Let's heal this Pantaleon fella. And then this was basically the turn of our heroes. Now the infected will attack. So here we are lucky, we only have 1 barricade, but any exceeding damage does not do anything to our heroes. So for now only this barricade is gone. Here we'll lose 2 barricades as well. Here all barricades are down as well, so this can be really kind of a problem. This barricade will go down as well, and here we will also lose one barricade. Feels like a Swiss cheese. Let's advance the hour. So again, we would have one last turn where new infected would enter the board, which I did off camera. Again, we have a special scenario. Again, we have to deal with one paranoia cube, and this time only poor Harlequin is in the area of that ditch, so he gets that paranoia cube and he's not allowed to take additional stress. Again, we have to move the fella. So all these three guys will now move towards this space here. Here we have the catacombs. Normally, an infected would not be allowed to enter the barricade area as long as there is still one barricade left. But because of this obstacle, the catacombs, this Goliath will find a way to our barricade. This one goes here. Here we have all three guys. Oh wow, that's really kind of a problem. And here we are fine. And I think, yeah, we have to move this martyr here as well. Let's do all the other movement off camera. And that's the situation as of now. Next we come to the activation of our heroes again. Again starting with Captain Terror. And this time he will use the order or the command assault or move. And I think he will give the command to this space here. So these three characters cannot decide either to move or take a free assault action. And I think this is now what I will do. So I think for once Captain Terror will move here. Then it would be Lady Columbine. And I'm thinking of... No, I think I would keep Lady Columbine where she is for now. But Brickell will take his assault command. And as you can see, here is one little Goliath in that space. And the good thing about Brickell, he would inflict 2 damages during an assault action. So enough to kill that Goliath in that barricade area here. Which is good because now Lady Columbine could take again a shooting action. The same would of course apply to Brickell himself. Captain Terror can then take his normal activation, his normal action. And for once I think he will just kill this infected, this worm in here with an assault action again. Nothing happened, so I won't show you anytime the pile of corpses now. So only when something is happening, or I will show it to you from time to time how this thing will grow. Then he will take 1 stress. I think I will also do that off camera as of now to keep things moving here in order to kill the next infected in the barricade box here. It's now the turn of Lady Columbine. She can now shoot, and I think this is what she will do. For once, she will shoot towards this Moloch here. She would inflict 2 damage, but the Moloch only has 1, but we cannot change it. She takes 1 stress, and then she shoots against this Moloch here as well in order to keep our escape path free. I think I explained to you, I want to escape from the north. Then we come to Brickell. Brickell is now able to use his M60, and with the M60 he can take 4 shots, and guess what? He will shoot towards this space here. So this is basically 4 things down, and I think this is something I will definitely show you on the pile of corpses and really have our fingers crossed. Ah, damn it, again, stick to my finger. Was really a close call, but nothing bad happened here. I guess then he will move down here to this space, taking 1 additional stress. And then we would come to... Oh no! Pity. I again forgot it. I reversed the turn order. It was first Harlequin's turn, but that really doesn't change a thing. So because... Yeah, I think this really doesn't really matter. Because I wanted to stay here anyway with Harlequin in order to take some of the infected down here. So with his first assault action, he will kill this Moloch without any problems. And I think he's taking 1 stress in order to get rid of that fella here. And then now it would be the turn of Brickell. Brickell more or less already did his stuff. I really do apologize. And so we come to Pantaleon. Pantaleon will just shoot his M79 in this area here with a standard action. So these three guys are killed immediately because of his exploding money. And one of the incubi is touching the surface, so is outside of the pile of corpses. So this incubus will definitely come back. And I think he will come back at this area here. But this also means that poor Pantaleon takes 1 stress. But then he's taking an additional stress to do his follow-up shooting in order to get rid of that Goliath. He also already has 1 damage, so this follow-up shot will definitely kill it. With his reaction, he will build 1 barricade again in this space, and then we can move over to the dog here. And the dog will take 1 level of stress to kill one of these infected. But I just noticed I forgot that poor Harlequin had a paranoia cube on it, so he would not be able to take an additional stress, or I've given 1 stress back. But this would also mean there would be 1 more vermin. But now the dog, we suppose, or we consider, he has now killed that infected. Still, he would be allowed to take his free healing action. And originally I thought to heal Harlequin here in order to get rid of the paranoia cube, but we have still 1 little cool command at Captain Terror. So for once I will heal Brickell for now with a free activation, or with a free action from Dog Pestilence. We have done all our activations, so it would be the turn of the infected. This vermin will destroy this barricade to the north. This was easy. Now the infected really do some damage. Let's start here with Captain Terror. He has 2 vermin in front of him. Both vermin inflict 1 damage. So as he's the only character in this space, poor Captain Terror has to take 2 levels of stress, and he's already in the terror zone. It's not entirely bad that this guy is in the terror zone, but anytime now he would drop 1 of the infected out of the pile of corpses, every other character would gain a level of stress. So this is really something to take care of. Then we come to the east space of the refuge. Here we also have 2 vermin. They do also 2 damage. And now it would be, let's say, upon the players to decide who would take the damage. This would usually be the role of the captain. So I give definitely 1 level of stress to the doctor, and I think 1 level of stress to Harlequin. But apart from that, that was basically it. The next thing to do is to advance the hour to dawn, so there will be no new infected coming to the board. But still we have to move all the infected appropriately. And again, I think I will do that off camera. And that's the situation around the refuge. So most of the barricade areas are now occupied by the infected, so we cannot really take a lot of shooting actions for now, but I really hope we can deal with it somehow. Now again we could turn over to the players, and again we would start with Captain Terror. Captain Terror still has 1 last command left, and that's the no fear, no mercy command. Again, he would cast it toward 1 space on the refuge, so use this command, and of course we will choose that space here. For once we can get rid of the paranoia cube from Harlequin, and then Brickell, Harlequin and the dog all get 1 level of stress back, and that's already a good thing. Then we would activate Captain Terror with a normal activation. So I think he will take 1 action, 1 assault action, in order to get rid of that Moloch here, because the Moloch is not that strong, but he inflicts more damage than all the other guys. And I think with his 2nd activation, so I'm really thinking of taking 1 additional stress here. I think that it really doesn't matter anymore. He will then get rid of that Goliath here. Lady Columbine will also take an assault action. She would get rid of that vermin. And let me show you the pile of corpses in the meantime. Oops, that's really, it's really getting tense over there. Then she also takes 1 level of stress and will take out this Moloch to the north, basically our escape route for now. Let's move over to Harlequin. Harlequin will also do an assault action in order to take out this Moloch, and then he will take 1 level of stress to take out the next Moloch here as well. Then we come to Brickhell. And Brickhell will also do an assault action for this Moloch, and I think with his next action, yeah, he will just take out this Incubus. Again, he will take 1 level of stress as well. Pantaleon will take 1 shooting action. Again, he's using his explosive ammo. He will shoot towards this space here. All of them inflicting 1 damage, so all these guys are down. And again, this is something I have to show you now as I'm having 4 cubes. Ah, damn, it stick to my finger. I hate it. Okay, this Incubus is coming back, but it's not really a problem. Of course, Pantaleon takes 1 level of stress because he came back. I think he will not take any additional stress. He will just use his free action to build an additional barricade, of course, to this area, because these 2 barricades will be down anytime soon. Then we come to the dog. Normally it would be wise to kill these 2 vermin here with 2 activations from the dog. But as he has now the possibility to save this survivor here by just taking out these 2 infected there, I think this is definitely more valuable. So with his very first shot, he will kill this Moloch, and with his second shot, so he will take 1 level of stress, he will take out that Incubus. And now really let's hope that they don't get back. So let's start with Moloch, no problem. And then we have to do the same for the Incubus, and we will place it here. This was close. It's really sitting not very straight on this pile, so I don't have to move the table in any direction now. And I guess with his free action, he will simply heal Brickhell here. The infected will attack. Let's start simple by these 2 guys. They will just take down these 2 barricades, so that's not really a problem. We have really a problem on the other side to the west of our refuge. Normally Captain Terror would take 4 hits now, and then he's close to being unconscious, he would go down. But he has this last man standing ability, so he cannot be the first guy going down. So he takes 1 level of stress. That's definitely possible. That's something we have to do. And then we have to divide 3 additional levels of stress to the other characters. And I think I will give 1 to Brickhell, no, 2 to Brickhell and 1 to Harlequin. Then these 2 guys will attack as well. They will inflict 2 damages, and again I will give 1 to Brickhell and I guess 1 to Harlequin. Now it's the end of the night, so we went through dawn here. Now we have to escape. We say, of course, we will escape to the north. There is still 1 infected left. This infected will now deal 1 damage to one of our characters, and I'm thinking of giving that stress to the doctor. The good thing is now we have rescued a survivor here. So Dog Pestilence is definitely more powerful now. As long as he has this blue survivor cube on his card, he inflicts now 2 points of damage with each shot. We move the day track or the hour track to the first hour of the day. And last but not least, we will do some clean out action. So these fellows, they will just be removed from the board. We will move the remaining barricades to the center of the refuge. So these are cubes we can use during the very next night. All the other infected will just go back to the abyss. And we will also shuffle in the paranoia cubes we removed during this night. And that's basically it for the night. And then we can start the day phase. The first thing that you would do is reshuffle the nightmare deck, so we will have a fresh deck for the starting of this day. Then we check for the sinking of the city again by drawing a nightmare card. And this time we look at the number at the top right of this card, so this means location 7 is now sunken. So we place a sunken marker on this location here, and this is already a problem, as this means as of now we cannot go for the airship finale because you can never face the night at a sunken location. There are ways to exchange these sunken locations, or there are some cards in play, but for now that's definitely not an option for us to go. Then we draw our event for the day, again from the Nightmare deck of course, and oh, this time this is a grey one, this is good, Torpor of the Leviathan. We remove one sunken marker, can you believe that? And so we have all the options for a finale again. This is definitely not a bad thing, of course. Now the normal sequence of play goes ahead. So we already agreed to escape from the north, so we have to take this route. And I think we will definitely travel 1 hour to this location, and I'm really tempted to speed things up and maybe directly move to this location number 6 here. So this cost us 2 hours of the days already, so we can still take 2 additional actions. Movement is now over, so we cannot now not decide to move again. This is really important. First thing, you have to move, and then you can take your day actions. With this very first action, I think Captain Terror will rest. So he gets 2 levels of stress back. Then it would be the turn of Lady Columbine, and I think she will also take 1 rest action, and I think we keep it more or less the same for all the guys but the dog of course. So Harlequin will rest, Brickhell will rest, Pantaleon will rest. Now the doctor is using his special day ability, and this says he can heal up to 3 wounds, and I think he will use his medical abilities on Captain Terror. So 1, 2, 3 points for Captain Terror. So all our characters have now taken a day action, which means we progress the hour drag 1 hour ahead. It's a turn of Captain Terror again. Captain Terror will take a search action, and again we have to draw 1 nightmare card. Unfortunately, we didn't find any item here. We only found survivor. That's not entirely bad, of course, as we can place this survivor in the abyss, so we might be able to catch this survivor during our next night. Lady Columbine does the same, so she'll also take a search action. Oh, here we have an infected. Now she gains 1 level of stress, because he was really surprised, but the good thing is she is still allowed to either take a survivor or to get a card from her deck, and I think this is pretty easy. We take a card from her deck, and this is not really a good thing. Come on, these are the tarot cards. Place 2 survivors in the abyss at the start of each day. Of course, the day has already started, so we cannot make any use of that, and I really was hoping for a good weapon here. Okay, this is not entirely bad, but definitely not great. Harlequin will also do a search action, and yeah, he's lucky, he has a special ability, so even if he finds an infected, nothing bad happens, but in this case, he definitely found an item, and I'm really hoping for something good now. And here we have the Tomahawk. Harlequin deals 2 damage in assault. That's also not really what I was hoping for. Better than nothing, but also not really great. I think Brickhell again will do a search, so let's hope for the best. Yeah, he also finds an item, and I'm really hoping for something very good now. And yeah, now we are talking. The chainsaw is here. During an assault, you deal 3 damage. This can be split up among several infected. That is so damn important. So Brickhell is now very well equipped. I think with him, we can now survive the next night. Awesome. Pantaleon will use his special day action not to search for something. He will just build 4 new barricades, which we will place into the refuge. I think this is pretty important. And I think Dog Pestilence will again use his healing ability to heal himself. 1, 2, 3 levels of stress. And this was the second action. So again, we come into the night phase. And again, we would follow the same setup. rules as in the very first night. So place obstacles and fortifications, the barricades, placing the characters, drawing the bosses. And in that second night we already have to deal with 3 bosses. So I'm pretty sure I will go down very bad in the next night, but I think I will definitely try as good as I can. And of course Captain Terror will gain his command tokens back. But as announced, I will end it here, so I promised you to play the rest of the last or the very first night. I played through a day action, and then as of the next episode I will do the complete night and also the complete day. But I have really my doubts that I will make it during this night. Hope to see you soon in the next episode of my playthrough of Carnival Zombie. Again, apologies for some of the mistakes I'm doing. It's really tough with 6 characters, so I learned that now. But I think up to now I should have caught all possible mistakes. And still, I hope you will follow me on my escape plan through Venice. Bye bye!